Hi everybody. If you want to make a great, well-designed presentation so that you can send it to a prospective client or to share it with someone so you can let them know about your business, did you know that you can do this using a free software called Canva? Let's get right into it. Now, if you're new here, my name is Liz and I release videos every Tuesday talking about how you can add video to your new business. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you never miss any of my future videos on this topic. Now, why would anybody want to record a presentation in Canva, and who would they send it to in the first place? Now, I'm sure that many of you are familiar with other softwares like Google Slides, PowerPoint, and Keynote. The thing about Canva is that design really allows you to create a very polished product that almost looks like a graphic designer made it for you, and very easily and simply without any type of design background yourself. So that's one of the reasons that you might want to consider using a product like Canva to create a presentation, record it, and send it to someone. Now, let's pretend that somebody reaches out to you because they want some information about your service and they want to do some specific work with you. This is a great opportunity to record a presentation outlining some of the work that you do, proposing how exactly you can help them, and then just send them the link so that they can watch it on their own time and make a decision. Similarly, if you want to pitch your product or service to an investor or to a company that might make use of it, you can equally create a really great, well-designed, polished presentation in Canva and send it to them very seamlessly. So let's get into how you can do this, and we'll jump right on my computer so that I can walk you through the entire process. Okay, everybody, so we're in my Canva account, so that's just canva.com. If you're not familiar with this software, you will find that millions of small business owners, especially and entrepreneurs, depend on Canva because it's just so great for making promotional materials, especially. And Canva is a completely free software, so you can just get started right away with it. If you'd like to upgrade to the Pro version, then that's about $17 a month, and you do get access to a few more features, but certainly you can go a very, very long way just with the free version. So let's jump right into it. So in the search engine, we will just look for presentations and then see what comes up. Okay, so right away, right off the bat, let me just give you a brief mention as to what you would pick when you're faced with this list. So the type of presentation that you're expecting would go, on a computer screen or on a flat screen somewhere. You would have to just think in advance of how you think the person who's viewing the presentation might be viewing it. So if you're expecting that they're going to be watching it on a laptop or a computer or a TV or any type of a larger screen, then you would pick this top presentation, which is at the 1920 by 1080 pixels. On the other hand, if you think that this is going to be viewed on some type of a tablet or an iPad, for example, then you would go down to this 4 by 3 version because these are the right dimensions for that. However, if you're under the impression that the person is going to be looking at this presentation on a mobile, then absolutely come down to this mobile first one because they've set everything up so that it's nice and responsive and in the right direction for that. So that's the first decision you'd have to make. So let's pretend that we're just doing a normal presentation that someone is going to view on their laptop. So we just click into presentation. And then as with everything in Canva, you can absolutely start out just with a blank template, in which case you would be building out all of the elements and adding all the colors and graphics yourself from scratch, which you could certainly do. Or you can have a look at some of the themes here if that would help to narrow down what you're looking for. So let's say that I'm looking for a marketing presentation template. So I'd click marketing, and then I can just go ahead and pick any of these things. And if you're familiar with Canva, you know that practically everything is customizable in Canva. So if you pick a presentation that looks like this, for example, then you're not at all obligated to use these fonts, these colors, these graphics, any of that. Really, the point of the template is to give you just a working base, and then from that point, you can just customize to suit your branding and the content that you're preparing. So let's say that this is the one that we're going to go with. So let's just double click into this, and we will just get started with that. Okay. Okay, world's slowest internet. All right. So right away, you can see that Canva provides you with 28 pages. You can see all of them here. This is kind of the base presentation. So of course, you can go through and delete any pages that don't have the look and feel that you're looking for. Or if you see a page that really works well and you want to speak a little bit more in depth with that same type of look, then you can even duplicate that page. So today's video won't go too much in depth as to how to make edits to this. However, what I will say is that once you apply all of these 28 pages, then that means that your full Canva presentation will have all those pages, and then you can just go ahead and just edit to your liking. You can edit which font you're using by editing up here. You can edit all of these colors. You can move any of these graphics. So the program itself allows you to completely customize everything. Let's say, for example, that your business, it does not really have a lot of yellow in its branding, then you can certainly go up here, change it more to your branding style. And then you can even click this button, which is change all, meaning that Canva will go ahead and replace all the yellow elements in that template presentation to your own pink branding. So it just does that right across the board. So you can just see how easy and simple it is just to go through and then to add your own content in. Okay, so let's say that you've finished making your full presentation and you're really happy with it. One hack that I will give you here, and this is something that I like to do, is that just at the end of your presentation, just on your blank last page, you can either copy some of the branding from one of the other previous pages, or you can just create a blank page and just add some text. So I'll add some text, and that'll say something like scan code for slides. So what does this mean? So this basically means, so I add this sometimes to the end of my presentations. So basically what that means is I am about to insert a QR code. And then when I do that, the person who receives this presentation can just scan that QR code on their own phone, and then they can just be taken right away to a site. So there's two great ways that I like to use it. So first, let me just show you what I'm talking about. So over here in this menu panel on the left side of Canva, there's these mysterious 3 dots. So you can click that. And then there is an integration with the QR code app. So just click that. Here, it asks you what URL you want the person to go to when they scan the code. So there's 2 things you could do. One is that sometimes you can send them to one of your social media sites. Oops, don't mind that. That was an accident. So I'm just typing in the URL here. So you can send them to your social media site, in which case they can just scan that and immediately go there and then have a look at your page. Or you can send them right to your own website, which is something that I do. That way you can get people looking at your site, and that's also great. Or if the purpose of it is to actually have them get the slides, which is what I've written here, then what you would do is, so let's delete that. You'll come up to this share, which is similar to the share function that you would see in Google Docs or Google Sheets. Click share, and then you would share a link to view. And then you'll copy that link, okay? So this is familiar to people who use Google Docs and Google Sheets, and then you'll just paste that in over here. Then that will generate a code. So you could have done the same thing if you were sharing your website or your Facebook or whatever. That code is here, and now that's here. So that means, the person who's reviewing this presentation can scan this, and then they will have access to all of these slides to view, because that's the access that you've given them. So if you want to do that, you can do that, or you can certainly use this URL code to send them to an external website. So that's just a little hack that I wanted to show you, which I love doing. It's super handy. Okay, so let's say that we finished our full presentation and we really love it. Then we have a couple different options. So one thing that you can do is absolutely just pull up this presentation when you are about to present it to a group of people. So if you're on a Zoom call and you're getting ready to make a presentation, you would just share your screen, come to your Canva account, pull up your presentation, and then you can just come here and then present it. So if you're presenting it, then you're given a few options here where you can either just have the standard presentation, which is what I like, or you can have the presenter view so that you can see your own notes and stuff at the bottom. So that's sometimes handy. Or the autoplay. The thing about autoplay is, it doesn't rely upon you at all. So it just moves along automatically after a couple seconds to the next slide. So I find that a bit of a risk. So I like to just stick with the standard one. So if you do the standard one, then what you'll do is it will really just take you into full screen. And then you can just use your mouse to just click to each next page, or you can use the arrows of your own computer. So this is exactly like using PowerPoint or Google Sheets or any of that. Same functionality, but it's super handy because you've already created it in Canva, so you don't have to go anywhere else to access it. You can just present it straight from Canva and it'll just present just as a full screen. So that's one thing that you could do. Or another thing that you can do is you can decide to share this presentation with somebody. So this is really handy if you want to send it as a proposal to someone, or even better than that, if you want to send it to one of your team members or somebody that you're doing a little bit of work with. That way you can share the link, send them this link, or you can add, share it to edit so that they can actually make any edits on it. Copy the link and send it to them. That way somebody else can work on it. If you have an assistant who does some work with you, or if a couple of you in a group are getting together and working on this collectively, it's great to just, send off the link. So that's another thing you could do. Or of course, you can choose to just download the presentation altogether. So the most common format to download would be the PDF standard. Or if you want to print it and you want to, be careful about margins and stuff, you can use PDF print. Now, one thing that I'll mention is that in some of the slides, if you decide to use any animations, for example, or if you've inserted any videos or GIFs or anything like that, now this text, I could animate this if I wanted to. I could make it like this or, do a variety of animations. However, those animations, of course, as we can assume, of course, they don't show up on a PDF document, right? So the only way to actually get animations, saved to your presentation so that you can actually download that and send that to somebody would be to save it as a file type of an MP4 video. So it would have to run as a video, and that's the only way that you could save the animation. But otherwise, typically, I would save it as a PDF, and then I'll get the entire document as a PDF, and then I can just email it off or send it off to somebody. Now, another really neat thing that you can do, and this is very, very handy for course creators or people who want to make videos where they also include their own face in the video and they also have the content from the slide. So you can go to, you click these three links here, three dots here, and then you can do present and record. So when you do that, what it basically does is it takes you to what they call the Canva recording studio. And then it would require that you have your webcam on. So here I am. So your webcam is on and your microphone has to be on. So if your webcam is not on, then this feature won't work. So then really you just go to start recording, and then it gives you a bit of a countdown. And then it's so great that you get a little picture of yourself here. So this really helps with connection building, in fact, because the person who's seeing your presentation has a chance to see you. You can just kind of interact with the screen and feel like you are also there. It's almost as good as being live and presenting in front of that person. And then you can just use the arrows just to move through your presentation. So really what will record and what your viewer in the end will see is everything in this red box. So they'll see the slides and they'll see you in the corner there. And then, of course, you can pause that or end this recording. So the great thing about pausing the recording is that sometimes if you, you just need a minute to gather your thoughts or just kind of quickly figure out where you are, or if something is taking a long time to load and you don't want to capture all of that in the recording, you can just pause it and then unpause it and then just resume it. And then when you're done, you will just end your recording. So when you're done your recording, Canva will upload this to your own computer, which is handy because now you have the full recorded version of you presenting the slides, and then you get this link. So then you can copy this link and send off the link to somebody. or you can choose to download the entire thing to your computer, or you can just, discard it if you don't really like it. So here I'm just going to exit that. So these are some of the ways that you can create presentations and then actually present them. And then if you wanted to go a step further, you could record that as well and present like that. So these are some really, really handy ways to create a presentation that looks really polished and professional. Now, I'm a huge fan of other programs like Keynote and PowerPoint and Google Google Slides. However, I admit I do have a bit of a soft spot for Canva because everything just looks so professionally done, as if you gave it to a designer. And no two templates are the same. So you are always going to find a template that really sort of suits the vibe that you're going for, and then you can just go ahead and customize it however you want and just completely make it yours. Nobody would think that you ever got it off of a template. So make sure that you sign up for an account at canva.com and check this out, and then let me know in the comments what you think about this program.
Now, if you're anything like me, you will be a diehard fan of Canva. It's one of the best free softwares that I've ever bumped into that allow you to create great marketing materials without any type of design or graphic design background yourself. So I highly encourage you to work through that software and see what are all the features there that might be useful to you in your business. And you can also use it to record presentations, as I've outlined in today's video. So if you're interested in learning more about how you can use video to add to your new business, make sure that you check out the link in my description below so that I can send you a free resource for getting comfortable on camera and creating your own videos. Make sure that you like this video and share it with one of your friends who might be just getting used to using video for their business. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss any of my future content on this topic. So until next time, take care.